Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to talk about something that's recently come to my attention. Now, there's some people that are going to say, oh, that's old news. You been living under a rock or something? But it was quite surprising to me. So, it has to do with, I don't want to call it specifically social media, but it has to do with Facebook and one part of Facebook that is really quite annoying and not very, what you might call appreciated. This is still dirty. This is dirty. I gotta clean this. I gotta clean both of these. Where's my spray bottle? And also, so something about Facebook, and also something about pictures, taking pictures and posting them online. So, there is this reporter, kind of did like an expose story on Facebook, and I'm looking for paper towel. And they did this experiment where they had the Facebook app open on their phone, I guess. Probably on their phone. And they decided to do a little experiment. So that the Facebook open, the mic was on, which is key. And they talked about, the thing about living in a van is you're going to have dirt, and is it going to kill me? No. Anyway, so Facebook app was on, microphone was on. Then they started talking about going for a safari in Zimbabwe. I can't remember if it was Zimbabwe or Nigeria. Maybe it was both. So they kept talking about this for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. And man, that vinegar is strong. Getting a big waft of it. So they're talking about this safari they're going to do in Zimbabwe, Nigeria. Then I'm not doing it justice. I can't remember if they're talking about the next day or several hours later. They went on their Facebook page, and guess what? What was being advertised to them? Safaris in Nigeria and Zimbabwe. So what happened was the Facebook app, let's clean this first, was using the microphone on the phone and recorded their conversation, and then used the information to advertise to them, the person whose Facebook page or was or whatever. So it's quite devious. I mean, here's Facebook is literally recording your conversations and using what they learn in your conversations to advertise to you without anybody's knowledge. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. This is true. I don't want to. I got to be careful of how I say this, but I learned about this at work, and through a digital security company. Let's just put it that way. So, the lesson learned there is if you go to your Facebook app, turn off the microphone. Make sure the microphone is selected to off. However you do that, if you have a Apple phone or a Android phone or whatever, make sure the microphone is off. So they're using some kind of algorithm or some sort of a technology, I don't really understand how, to record your conversations and then use it against you to advertise. Well, it's not against you necessarily, but it's certainly not respecting your privacy at the very least. So that's terrible. So that's one thing. Then the other thing is something I learned about, which some of you tech savvy guys are going, oh yeah, blah blah blah, old news. But there's this thing that happens when you take a picture. On the picture that you take, like with your smartphone, there's something called metadata, which is data that's imprinted onto the picture, the digital picture. So you can look up, you can get some kind of software to figure out what kind of metadata is on these pictures. Now, in most social media like Facebook and Craigslist, I guess Craigslist isn't really social media, but on most social platforms like that, they're going to strip all that off because that's just extra data that's going to bog down their servers or whatever, so they want as minimal data as possible. However, say for example, you're on Facebook, or not Facebook, Craigslist, and you're trying to sell something. And the person, like say it's a TV, for example, and the person sends you an email saying, hey, I'm interested in seeing your TV, but I don't want to drive all the way out there and find out that it's junk. So can you just take a few more pictures for me and then email them to me? Pretty common, doesn't seem like it's too harmful. So when you do that, you email these pictures to this person. The pictures are in their raw form, which means that they're it's just pure. It's not stripped away. All the metadata is there. And what this means is on the picture, it will tell the camera will say the picture will tell the person using the metadata exactly where the picture was taken. Like I'm saying, exactly. GPS coordinates, look it up on Google Maps, whatever. Exactly where the picture is taken, the exact time it was taken, all this data. So now this can be used against you, especially if you're like a single woman or whatever and you don't really want, your privacy respected. You're sending your address to people that you don't even know that you're sending it to. So that's kind of something to be made aware of. I heard about that before, but I kind of was a little bit, wasn't quite sure about what I heard, but that's true. Now, there is another issue kind of related to this Facebook thing, where in the Facebook posts you make, there's two settings. You can either have, you're going to share what you post to friends, or you're going to share what you post to the world. And the world one, if you look by the post in the top left-hand corner, there's a little globe. And that means you're sharing it to public. Everybody can see that. If you're sharing it to just friends, there's like two silhouettes side by side, and that's the indication that you're only sharing it to friends. So this is, what I'm telling you here is a true story. This lady was going to Cancun, Mexico, and she was in Cancun, Mexico, and a pretty common thing. She was saying how much fun she's having in Cancun, blah 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 blah, posting pictures to Facebook. Well, guess what happens? One of her friends on Facebook says, "Oh, when are you getting back?" So she tells them, innocently enough. She comes back. Her place has been robbed. And it turns out it's by the guy. They eventually find out it's by the guy who was her Facebook friend. So everybody knew that she was in Cancun. She told the world, all the public, because the globe was on the Facebook page. So now the lady had condo insurance or house insurance. Not sure what kind of residence it was. And she went to file a claim. And insurance companies, how they are, they're pretty, a little bit shady. I'm putting way too many mushrooms in here. They said, "Oh, we're so sorry, you shared the fact that you were not home with the entire world, and we have a certain standard of expectation that you're not going to do that. And because you did that, your insurance is invalid, and we are not going to fund your claim." So she lost a whole bunch of stuff, and she wasn't compensated. So I guess the takeaway from this is, if you're going to share pictures on your Facebook, make sure that it's friends only, and make sure that the people that are your friends on Facebook are really friends and not just an acquaintance of acquaintance. Oh yeah, that guy, I'll friend request, okay, I'll approve it. Because these kind of things can happen. And if you get ripped off, it's one thing, but then when the insurance company says, sorry, we're not going to fulfill the claim, that's a real bummer. So these are the few things I thought I'd share about kind of the dangers of social media and taking digital pictures and stuff like that. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.